Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to show off some of the fastest 1v1 starts you should all learn. I usually don't make videos like this, but I've been wanting to experiment with different ideas, and creative building tricks was one of them. In my opinion, the hardest part of a 1v1 is the beginning of it. It's basically a race to do the fastest 90s and place a ramp over your opponent before they do the same to you. This leads to you getting stuck in really awkward positions and losing high ground immediately off the rip. What most people do not realize though is that it does not have to be this way. There are tons of different starts you could use to easily get high ground without relying on fast 90s and luck. That's exactly what this video is about. To prove it to you, I'm going to cover a wide range of starts that will help you in both creative 1v1s and build fights in real games. So with that being said, let's start with one of the cleanest and most effective 1v1 starts that I learned from Parallel Beats. Start off with your normal double 90s, extend a ramp out, and then place a cone. Once you build the cone, turn around and connect another cone to it in the opposite direction, as well as a wall underneath and a ramp attached to the wall that you'll jump on. From there, you'll edit through the cone, build a ramp, and then turn around for a 3-wall 180. You're also going to build one wall to the side and a ramp that you're going to land on when you do the move quickly. This should all be done in one swift jump, where you end up on the sideways ramp you placed last. If you're struggling, just make sure you stay towards the left side of the ramp, so when you jump up for the 3-wall 180, you still have room to place the ramp at the end. You'll pretty quickly know if you're not positioned correctly when you end up under the ramp instead of on it. Back to the move, and you'll follow up the sweet 180 you just did by building a wall above the highest one you placed, one to the side of it, and one under that. Use the last wall you built to build a ramp, edit through the one above it, and at that point, you'll have high ground and can do whatever you want. This 1v1 start is one of the better and more unique techniques I've personally seen, which is probably why I like it so much. The reason it works is because that 3-wall high 180 will block them off and prevent them from coning you and retaining height. Any other move you do would let them keep tracking you, but as Beats shows here, they won't expect the extra wall you place and will have no quick way around it. On top of that, because you place a cone after you do your 90s, the cone will always place before a ramp. You can see, while a cone places anywhere from halfway on the first ramp and up, you need to be about halfway up on the second ramp to place another ramp. This means your opponent will come across your cone first, do a 90 in front of it for high ground, and then start trying to track you and cone you off. That's when you'll hit them with this 3-wall 180 and take control of the 1v1. All in all, it's almost like you're baiting them into having high ground at the start, then you outplay them and leave them in the dust. All thanks to the creative god, Parallel Beats. Not Beaks, by the way. Beats with a T. The second 1v1 start is from another insane creative player who is actually Beats' duo partner, and that is Parallel Cnnr. Start off with whatever 90s your heart desires, and then extend out a ramp and a cone on top. This time though, you're going to edit the 2 back tiles of the cone, and place another cone on top of the one you just edited. After that, you're going to wrap cones all the way around to the other side while jumping, catch yourself on a ramp, and build 2 walls for protection. Your opponent will be caught under the cone, and you can make an edit play on them for a cheeky shot. Cnnr pulled this off in a 1v1, and you can see how good it is at trapping your opponent in and catching them with that extended cone. Just think about it from their perspective. They'll see your edited cone and be forced to do a 90 or else they lose high ground. By the time they do that though, you'll already be wrapping around their wall with cones, and that last cone you place will prevent them from ramping out of their 90s. What happens if you don't end up coning them? That's actually another reason I love this start. You can easily just edit through the cone on top of your ramp and continue up for high ground. Or you could do something more advanced with it, like editing the right side of the cone and doing a phase sway retake. Cnnr showed a ton more versions you can try out, but just know you can still easily maintain momentum even when you don't trap them in. The last thing you should know is to have your building blueprints out while editing the cone at the start. If you guys did not know, you can edit from a lot further away when you have your blueprints out, compared to when you don't. Go and try the full trick without your blueprints and you'll see it's a lot harder since you start out too far up on your ramp while trying to place the other cones. That's why I will always recommend placing the cone and then not swapping to a pickaxe or to a weapon before you make the edit. Just keep your blueprints out. So if you're looking for a decently simple yet still extremely effective 1v1 start, then look no further. The next start is from BH Woods and is probably the fastest one I'll cover, even though it doesn't involve any advanced tricks or techniques. You'll start off by doing the normal 290s up and extend out a ramp. Again, you're going to place a cone at the end, but then you're going to place a wall to reinforce the ramp, a wall to the side, and a ramp on the second wall. At full speed, you're basically going around the cone without losing any momentum at all. Some of you really OG subscribers might remember me showing this in a ramp rush way back in the day. This time though, we're using it to regain height. So after you go around the cone, place a ramp, a wall to reinforce it, and a wall to the side. You're then going to use that side wall to build 2 ramps off of it, 2 cones on top and 2 floors underneath the cones. To finish the start, ramp up one more time and do a 90 in the direction you just placed all those builds. Unless you watch BH Woods, I can guarantee almost all of you guys have not seen this start before. What makes it so fast and so effective is the fact you never lose any speed or momentum. Straight from the start, you run past the cone you place while your opponent is forced to come across it and do a cone jump or 90 in front of it. Because remember, you will always get the cone off before they can place a ramp over you. As they're doing that 90, you'll be around the cone and building the ramps, cones, and floors to fake out your opponent who's building up under them. They'll be coming out of their 90, see the cones and floors behind them, and think that's where you're coming out of. When in reality, you're doing your own 90 above those builds and have high ground over them. Altogether, this retake is all based on your movement. There's a reason controller players like ZaynSZN are so good at 1v1s, even though their mechanics may not be the best. The truth of it is that it's straight up faster to run around a cone than it is to stop and do a 90 or turn around and do a 180. That's why I highly recommend learning this start and incorporating the moves within it into your 1v1s as soon as possible. For the final creative start, I'll show Misfits Clix signature move that doesn't use a cone in the beginning. Start off with some Clix 90s, extend a ramp out, and then run up the ramp to place another ramp. As soon as you see the outline for the ramp placement, you're going to build a wall before the ramp, one to the side, and then jump on a floor connected to the side wall. This probably sounds pretty weird, but at normal speed, you're basically trying to get the ramp off and then jumping out to the side, building walls, and landing on a floor. From there, you're going to double ramp up with floors and walls for protection, then do a 90 using the right side of the ramp up for high ground, and boom, you're done. This is very similar to the last retake in that it's simple and it's fast. Once you get it down, you will consistently have a better start than your opponent, which is why Clix never loses wagers. Why exactly does it work though? Well, it comes down to getting that ramp over them. Once you do that, they'll be forced to booga jump out to the side to keep momentum while building. However, you've already done the side jump yourself and are technically a level above them. Even as they keep ramping up, you'll be finishing your 90 and will have high ground over them almost immediately. The other reason I wanted to show this was because it's a good counter to a few of the starts I just showed. In those, I told you to place a cone off the start because it gets placed first. So what you can do to counter it is use Clix's start to avoid the cone and keep high ground. So definitely go learn this if you're looking for a fast and versatile start that will work no matter what trick your opponent pulls out. Overall, those were 4 of the best and fastest 1v1 starts in creative. Hopefully, my explanations and examples helped you guys out, and if they did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jerian. We're getting really close to 400k subscribers, so again, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.